basketball. The ACC was on the way. March Madness was in full effect. Listen, Zion Williamson came on the court and did his thing, representing Duke, and also Mr. Coby White. Both freshmen in college came on the court and did their thing. And then at the end of the week, they end up challenging one another, and Duke came out on top for the win. What an exciting day in college football, college basketball this week.
Yes, I love basketball, but no, my house was lit pretty lit. Even though I barely knew what was going on, I just knew everybody was excited, so I was excited too. So yeah, that was a great moment. I know everybody was excited about the big weekend.
Yeah. And you know, today we started, yesterday it actually started again, where the colleges are playing, and so we're super excited.
Yes.
I was talking to one couple, they said, we do not watch college basketball all year long, but when March Madness comes, we go, we get our jerseys, we pick us a team, we pick us a player. I have to admit, we're kind of like that in our household. We pick us a favorite player, we pick us a favorite team, and we go for it. And my entire family, we watch the March Madness, we watch these games, and it's super, super exciting in our house, and we really love it. We're pulling for it. You college boys, you freshmen, you guys are leaving a legacy. Shout out to Christian James from Oklahoma. And so we're just really excited about what's going on. Now, unfortunately, we have to switch gears a little bit. We got to talk about the not so good stuff in Connect Sports. Now, the NFL right now is under fire. Now, this is a really, really sad story to me that I have to report. There is a pro bowler by the name of Tyreek Hill. He is a 3-time Pro Bowler with the Kansas City Chiefs. And unfortunately, he has a disturbing legal history. And as detailed in one of the stories that I was reading, Hill pleaded guilty to domestic violence, assault, and battery back in 2015. The plea reflected a gruesome incident that occurred in December 2014. Now, while Hill was a star running back at Oklahoma State University, okay? Now, Espinal, which is Hill's girlfriend, at the time, she also was 8 weeks pregnant. So here's what happened. Hill attacked his girlfriend in a Stillwater apartment in Oklahoma that they shared. The article said that he specifically hit her both in the face and in the stomach, and then he strangled her. Now, we're talking about a football player. And if you were to see his wife or his girlfriend, you would say, what in the world were you doing? Now, doesn't even matter about the size. It matters about what you're doing.
Exactly.
She was 8 weeks pregnant, okay? And he pled guilty to it because he knew that he did it. He was wrong. And he now remains under investigation by the Oakland Park Police Department and the Johnson County District Attorney's Office for an incident that reported on last Thursday in his home, in which he shared with his same baby mama, or his fiance. He's now 25 years old, and her name is Crystal. Now this incident involves his 3-year-old son. His 3-year-old son arm is broken. Now, I have to say this. It's important to note that the March 14 incident report does not state or imply that Hill or any other specific person is responsible for his son's injury. We have to say that. In fact, Hill's name does not appear anywhere on the report. So we don't know if the incident, because there were like 3 separate incidents. One that happened when she was pregnant, where he strangled her and he beat her up. The next incident happened on last week, but there was another incident that happened with the juvenile court system there, where his child arm was broken. Now, here's what I have to say about that. Whether you NFL, NBA, WNBA, wrestling, whatever, however the case may go, I believe that the NFL really needs to have a stricter code of conduct policy. Because what's happening is they're drafting these young men really early, pulling them out of college. They're not getting any type of mentoring. And if they are, they're not portraying that they are. I know that some people had risen up. I know Tony Evans is really good about mentoring some of these young men, but he can't be everywhere. I believe that we need more mentors to step up and be able to mentor these young men on A, how to be a man, on B, how to be a husband, and on C, how to handle their finances. What do you think?
You know, when I read the report, I read that there weren't any charges filed. You know, they've been called by the girlfriend or by the wife, but there were no charges filed. And being a woman that have dealt with violent men, I do want to say that these are not signs that need to be ignored.
That's good.
You know, they don't need to be ignored at all. Especially when a 3-year-old boy gets involved and his arm gets broken. I don't care if his name wasn't on there. We know who has a history of what. Now, I don't want to just judge and say because he have a history that this is what he did, but I am familiar with violent men in violent situations. So I'm going to say I really think that this is a serious matter, and whoever is investigating this needs to seriously go thorough into this case, especially with that 3-year-old son. I'm not too fond of that.
Yeah, that's good, because wherever there's smoke, there's fire, right?
There you go.
Wherever there's smoke, there's fire. We cannot say that everybody's lying when they come forth with allegations. Now,
there you go.
The one that he pleaded guilty on, and for sure, he's definitely guilty.
Right.
But when, like you said, when your kid is involved, something definitely needs to happen, and the reports need to be made, and investigations need to go forth so that this type of thing doesn't happen again. Now, one more. We have another NFL player that's under fire, Kareem Hunt. This former Kansas City Chiefs star running back who was captured on a video. Now, it's another video that went viral. You can catch the video on TMZ. He was captured on the video pushing, kicking, and shoving this woman. Now, he was actually suspended without pay for 8 games in the regular season by the NFL. Now, here's the kicker. More recently, the league suspended him indefinitely, and the penalty is saying will not be overturned. They're saying apparently he's never coming back to the NFL.
Oh, that's what they said.
From what I'm reading, that's what the latest was. So for right now, we'll say allegedly, because we're not really sure what's going to happen. But here's what I would say about that video. I watched it, and I don't know if the young lady was drunk. I don't even think that matters if she was drunk. I mean, this guy was just so big. I mean, he was literally, it took like an entourage of people to pull him back, and he was breaking loose from them, you know? And when he got loose from them, he actually pushed another guy down and pushed a girl down again, then went back and kicked her. So I just believe that something is going on in the NFL. Something needs to happen.
I think he was let off too easy. You know, I couldn't watch the full video because I don't like it. I don't like what I was looking at. You know, you missed 8 games, and I think you say that they say he's not getting back in the game.
Allegedly, we got to find out. The reports didn't really just say, so we'll find out about it.
Right, but yeah, he was let off too easy. 8 games, because I think that these men need help. When it's like that, you need help. You know, I'm not.
I believe that they need to put a policy in place, like a code of conduct.
There you go.
Or even if you're on leave, like they have some places where you have to go through training. Right. You know, but they should have something for the NFL where you're actually going through counseling.
Right. I believe I read that he did violate the conduct.
The code of conduct.
Yeah, right. But that's just being left off with 8 games. You know, not being able to do the 8 games. But I think that they should put them just like they do men that come home from prison. Men that come home from prison, they make them take anger management classes or something like that. So I think that's what they should do for the men who's in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't think there should be any special privileges. As you see, special privileges are not getting anybody anywhere. It's making this world a lot more crazy.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of crazy, another TMZ video was just released of the 6'4", 250-pound Barry Cofield, who was found asleep in his car at 2:40 a.m. When the cops came and woke him up, he allegedly led them on a high-speed chase. This all happened back last July.
Yeah.
Well, they pulled out their guns, they surrounded the car, and this Super Bowl champion was sitting in the car, right?
Right.
And I mean, they didn't know he was a Super Bowl. They didn't know who he was at the time, right? They were knocking on the door, and they were just knocking on the window. They were actually literally getting ready to break the window, and he finally came out.
Yeah.
When he came out and they began to search the vehicle, they found stacks of money and heroin.
Okay.
Stacks of money. I mean, literally, can you just imagine you rolling up and they trying to knock on the window and he jump up, see the police, and just take off?
Yeah.
Take off, right? But now we know why.
Yeah.
He had money and heroin in his car, right?
Yeah.
But if you watch this video, guns are drawn. Get on the ground, get on the ground, get on the ground. I mean, but he wasn't moving.
Right.
He wasn't moving.
Right.
And so what happened was, the cops searched the car, but now here's what they said, and here's actually in quote. They said they would find a wad of cash and a smaller baggie was later appeared to be heroin. Cofield was hit with several severe charges, including heroin possession, assaulting an officer, DUI, resisting arrest, and fleeing from the police. He was able to get a great deal from the prosecutors last week. And after pleading no content to just heroin and possession and DUI, everything else was dropped. He may not even spend no time in jail.
Well, I don't know what to say about that, but I think that, I really think that the cops was a little bit too extreme on it because they were threatening.
You think?
The only reason why I think that, because he was not showing a threat to him as far as, like, he didn't have a weapon on them to shoot, and they were just saying, get out or we'll shoot, but the man, like you said, you don't know if he was drunk or whatnot. I mean, he was afraid, but I think they was extreme to that, on that part, but on the other things.
But he led him on a high-speed chase, okay?
Yeah.
First of all, you were sleeping. Here's what I was talking to someone. You are an athlete.
Right.
If you got a stack of cash, how are you a driver? How are you a driver? If you want to go out and do your thing, how are you a driver? Because you know it's going to make the news.
Exactly.
You knew something was going to happen. That's why you led the police on a high-speed chase. Get you a driver. I'm all about solutions.
Yeah.
Get you a driver. Do what you're going to do, because you know that when it hit the tabloids, we're going to be talking about it right here on the Connect.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to be weighing in because, again, you have people watching, people that look up to you. Now, apparently, he was the man back in the day for the Giants. He was the man. And so now you still got all these charges against you. Yeah, you may not get any jail time, but you still got all these charges against you. And how can you freely live your life when you got these charges placed against you, when you could have just surrendered and just went on from there?
Right. And I think these celebrities need to be a little bit more responsible. Y'all are in the spotlight. That means be very responsible and cautious of your actions and what you do. Like Valencia said, why you didn't have a driver? We don't know what you were getting into that night, but you should have had a driver and something else taken care of to hide that.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Just stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Girl Talk on the Connect.